Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Welcome back. um, this is going to be my September wrap up. So yes, as you all know, I was doing my own readathon, the Introverted Reader readathon in September. Thank you to anyone and everyone that took part with me. I'm sorry I wasn't very active. It's just September was, reading wise, it was an okay month, but everything else, I got a lot of stuff going on, like family stuff, you know how it is, and the adult life just had got in the way of reading, and most times I just got home from work and was just too tired. But I managed to read and complete 5 books, not the amount that I was hoping for. I'm a bit disappointed in myself, but it's fine. We made it through. It's all good. First and foremost, I want to say Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty was on my TBR for September, but I didn't actually finish this in September. I finished it yesterday. So I'm going to be talking about this one in my wrap up for the end of this month. But all you need to know is that I loved it. And if you haven't picked up the David trilogy yet, then you need to, because it's fantastic. So anyway, I'll talk about more of this in my wrap up at the end of this month. So these are the books that I completed, and also the comic books that I read in this month as well. But I'll start with this one. This is Camp by L.C. Rawson. This is a story about a boy called Randy who every year has been going to this camp for queer kids, and you know, they put on like a theatre production every year. He is a very flamboyant, happy-go-lucky gay little boy. And he has a crush on this boy called Hudson. But Hudson only really kind of goes for gay guys that like act straight. You know, he's like a mask for mask type of dude. And please don't, let's not have a conversation about mask for mask, because I have opinions. And this year he comes to the camp and he has transformed himself. He has lost a little bit of weight. He cut his hair. He sort of like acts more macho, if that makes any sense. He even goes by a different name. Like, he doesn't say, oh, hi, my name is Randy. He's like, no, call me, what is it that he gets everybody to call him? I can't remember. Oh, what does he get everybody to call himself? I can't remember. But anyway, he gets all of his friends to call him by a different name. And immediately Hudson notices him. So like, that was one of my problems with this book. The relationship between the two of them happened way too quickly. Like, it was very, very, very insta-lovey. And I can understand having immediate rush of feelings for a person, but you don't tell a person I love you after 2 weeks. Like, I'm sorry if that sounds cold-hearted, but like, you really don't. But that's what happened in here. But anyway, I had, like I said, quite a number of issues with this book. A lot of stuff in here made me very uncomfortable. A lot of the things that Randy did made me uncomfortable. A lot of things that Hudson said made me very uncomfortable. Because Hudson, right, he is an Asian boy, right? It's not like said right away that he's Asian. And his parents don't fully accept him for being gay, which is really, really sad. And that is a problem that a lot of queer kids deal with to this day. I felt sorry for him. Like, he is a person that has gone through a lot of trauma. Like, his mother even called him a faggot, which is really, really sick and disgusting. And I'm sorry for saying that word, but like, it's used in here. And like, that's terrible. But then he acts like a complete jerk at times towards the other campers that are a little bit more flamboyant. Like, a lot of Randy's friends who are really flamboyant and out there and snapping their fans and wearing makeup and, you know, and wearing nail polish and whatever. And then he's all like, but like, my parents just like really hate me, and that they caught my granny putting makeup on me and they didn't let me see my granny anymore, and then my granny died, and I'm like really sad, like, wah. And I'm like, that's awful. That's terrible. Everybody goes through trauma. But I don't know whether or not anybody's going to agree with me on this one, but you can't use your trauma as an excuse for you being a dick. Like, that's my personal opinion on it, folks. There's also, I want to say, there is a lot of conversations that are in here about homophobia. So like, internalized homophobia, which Hutchin deals with a lot. Like, he talks about how being queer is like the greatest thing in the world, but then like, you low-key hate yourself. Like, stop lying. And a homophobia within the queer community. And it's mainly Hudson. Like, I had so many issues with this boy, and Randy just lets him get away with it. And like, I'm really sad that I didn't like this a lot more than what I thought. So I'm gonna stop talking about it because I've gone on long enough. But yeah, I ended up giving this 3. But if I'm being realistic, it's probably more like a 2. Anyway, moving on. The next book, that was for LGBTQ rep. That was the prompt. This book, The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. This was the book for the prompt to have a friend or family member pick out for you. And my sister picked this one out for me. This is kind of like book 4 in Maureen Johnson's Truly Devious World series, I guess. There's the original trilogy here. And then this is another little story set in that same world, but it's not set at the academy anymore. It's set in a campsite. Really weird that I picked 2 books centered around a campsite. But this one is about a brutal murder where 3 counselors were out in the woods smoking pot and they got brutally stabbed and stuffed inside of a box. And Stevie Bell, our main girl, she gets called in by the owner of the campsite that it is now to come in and be like a guest on his podcast and to try and like solve it and whatever. And I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. I gave it 4 stars. I really did enjoy the mystery. I listened to the audiobook for it. And yeah, it was a really fun time mystery. It wasn't like really dark, but like I love the vibe. I love the way Stevie's brain works. Like, she's on the autistic spectrum. Nobody disagree with me. I will die on this hill. But yeah, I really like this. 4 stars. So good call to my sister for picking this out for me. The next book that I read was for the prompt to read a middle grade, and that was Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I really liked this. It was cute. It was fun. It was magical. Things were a little bit confusing at times. I felt like things were sort of left up in the air, and a lot of stuff happened really quick and fast and very easily worked out for our girl here. Like, you got away scot-free, Miss Thing. And I understand it's a middle grade, but like, give your chosen one a little bit of a challenge, please. I didn't even really get the villain, if I'm being perfectly honest, but like I said, I love the world. I thought it was really creative. I love the character Jupiter North. I thought he was a really good character, because it's about our girl Morrigan Crow, who is cursed. She's destined to die on her 11th birthday, and then this man called Jupiter North takes her away to this magical land called Nevermore, and things go from there. I kind of feel like this was definitely a build-up for the rest of the series. I believe this is a 4-book series, if I'm not mistaken, right? But I am going to continue, because I really do want to know what happens next. And yes, shout out to Kat over at Katsukama for getting this for me for my birthday. You're a real one. I did really enjoy it. I thought it was really fun, and I am going to continue on with the series, and I gave this 4 stars. Next book that I read was Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This was for the prompt to read a book that has been unread for way too long. And honestly, I thought that I wasn't going to like this. I thought that this was going to be a DNF. I didn't think I was going to like it at all. But it really surprised me, because I read this and I really liked it. I thought it was super fun. It was actually a really quick read for the length that it is. Like, I read it really fast, and I was like, wow, okay. It's about this girl called, what is her name? Louise LeBlanc. And she is a witch, but she escaped her coven. She doesn't really practice magic anymore. She doesn't have anything to do with the witches, and she's been living in secret on the streets. Well, she's not living on the streets. She lives in like a ruined attic in a theater, which is kind of the dream. But, you know, and she kind of gets by stealing, and our love interest is a man called Reed, and he works for an organization, like a religious organization that is hell-bent on getting rid of the witches. So she has to keep herself a secret, otherwise she'll be burned at the stake along with any other poor witch that gets caught by these men. But then something happens, and then they end up having to get married. They end up having to get married, and things go from there. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. This really surprised me. I genuinely thought this would be a DNF, but like, you proved me wrong. You really, really proved me wrong. I am going to continue on with this series, although I am a bit nervous to read Blood and Honey because I haven't heard the best things. But I'm going to go in with an open mind because I went into this one with an open mind and low expectations. But like, it actually really surprised me. So 4 stars to this one. Now this next one, I was really sad that I didn't like more. And this one was actually a DNF, and I'm super sorry to say that We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal was a DNF because it was boring and nothing was happening. I got halfway through and I thought, I was listening to the audiobook, by the way, because I started reading it physically and I just couldn't do it because look at the size of this font. Look at the size of this font. There's no need for this. Can authors stop doing this? Because, like, I'm already an old gal. I already have to wear glasses because I'm short-sighted. I don't need to be straining my eyes to read your teeny tiny font in your book. Like, just stop doing that. Anyway, so I ended up switching from physically reading it to the audiobook, which worked out well because the chapters were really short. And I was getting near the end. I was maybe near like 100 pages or so away from the end of this book. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't feel anything for either one of the characters. I thought it was boring. Nothing was happening. I wasn't hooked. I wasn't drawn into the story. And like, I'm sorry. But I did really like this author's writing. So if she's coming out with anything in the near future, comment below, let me know, because I would like to read more of her books. Just not this one. And the very last one that I want to talk to you about is this. This is Avatar, The Last Airbender, The Lost Adventures, Team Avatar Tales. This is kind of an anthology of short stories written and drawn by a whole bunch of different writers and authors set within the world of Avatar. It was cute. It was fun. Nothing too mind-blowing or exciting. There's a whole bunch of different art styles in here. So like a lot of the stories aren't in the stereotypical Avatar style, but yeah, they were fun, they were cute. A lot of them probably could be canon, but like maybe they are, we don't know. But yeah, I'm glad that I read it, and I just want to read all of the Avatar comics ever that are gonna come out. Like, I really hope there's gonna be more, because I need an entire book series by Zuko. I need it in my life. Anyway, that is my, oh, that's gonna fall. That is my September wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you do well in September? Did you have fun? Did you have a good time? Did you take part in my own readathon? Because if you did, God bless you and thank you. Did you take part in any readathons in September? Because I know there's a lot of big ones happening. But yeah, I hope that you are having a good day. My Twitter, Instagram, down below as always, along with my Amazon wishlist. Subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things, leave a comment, let me know how your day's going, how you're feeling, what books you read, what books you liked, disliked, all the stuff. And I'll see you hopefully in my next video, which might be coming next Tuesday. I think Tuesday might be the day I upload. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that, but see you next week. Bye.